All right.
It's the show.
If you did that long enough, I would just replace the audio of the clip with just that. I don't know how long the clip is.
I don't know.
Just you making weird noises. Anywho, what was I gonna say?
Your
Oh,
words.
we're in the ADLR podcast. We took a break last week. Anthony, of course, if you forgot over the 2 weeks, we got Brian here, and then we have the still image down there of Randall in real time.
Mm.
Him winning an award. He looks really happy. Um, that's all I got to say about that. We had the Game Awards happen between now and before, or last week, before between last week's episode and this episode.
Yeah.
I tallied up all the boys' scores, and we have a ranking. Now the point was we need to guess what we think is gonna win, not our personal favorites at the Game Awards for each category. Um, as the night went on, I'm like, there's no way in heck I'm winning this. And it was just kind of sporadic in terms of some of them were like big upsets, some of them were like, whoa, what's going on? Not even a single category you won. Looking at you, Spider Man. And then I don't know why. Once they announced Baldur's Gate 3 was the game of the year, I was like, yeah. Like I would have been okay if any of them won, but seeing Baldur's Gate, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It's the one everyone has been raving about, and it has a lot of open systems that work really well with each other. Uh, without further to without further ado,
Mm-hmm.
let's get through the rankings here, and then we can just talk about the stuff they showed off at Game Awards, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess no, we'll do the rankings, then I'll talk about the boy and the heron for a bit, and then we can get on our Game Awards rants, right? Let's start with first of all, there's only three places. There's third, second, and first because two people tied,
Oh.
right? So there was 31 categories. Coming in third place, tied for third place with 13 correct, is Randall and Kelsey.
Fucking washed it
Yeah,
under
dude.
you.
Exactly. That's why I laughed. That's what like when I was sorting it out. I'm like, there's no way. Second place with 14 correct. Myself. In second place with one extra point. And to round us all out with 18 correct out of 31st is Brian in first place. That man came back. He's like, I'm tired of losing. Congratulations, Brian. You didn't win anything, but
It's
besides,
whatever, dude.
you win bragging rights, I guess, for the year.
Yeah. I studied the game, bro.
You studied the game
I was like,
industry.
never again. I was leading, and I got the double in that one year. I got one, then one after. Then I got washed. I was hibernating for a little bit. Then I hit the gym again.
Mm-hmm.
Balenciaga, where you at?
Damn. Okay. Clean.
Fuck.
And that's it. There's some crazy awards this year. I didn't expect. I mean, I heard Sea of Stars was good, but to win Best Indie, I was like, that's wild, especially with Cocoon, Viewfinder, and well, Dave the Diver was kind of questionable, but Blasphemous 2 was snubbed, so that would have been a good category if that was in there.
I don't even get it, bro. That game scored very well.
Yeah. Um, there was some crazy picks from like, why did I even choose not this? One that stood out was the best sports and racing. Like, I don't know how I didn't just pick Forza Motorsport. Like, it's not the best racing in that option. Like, Hot Wheels Unleashed is an arcade game, right? But then again, that's not a good reason because Forza Horizons is a arcade one, and that would have won easily. I think. I don't know.
I went with fucking Soccer is International, so that's what I thought it would win. I don't know. People still play those soccer games, but clearly not more than fucking uh the Forza, as it's pronounced, Forza.
There was we each had like streaks of getting the correct thing back to back. Um, our highest is 4, Brian. back-to-back wins. You had the content creator, most anticipated game, best adaptation, and best multiplayer, just back-to-back winning. Mine was Sim Strategy, best uh, family fighting game, and RPG. Randall had a 3 streak with, what is this? Content creator, anticipated, and best adaptation. And then Kelsey had another 3 with best family fighting and RPG. And then another, if he would have gotten the best action adventure, he would have had 7 in a row. Because after that, he did Armored Core 6, which was best action, VR, and mobile.
Hmm.
We're gonna get better.
Yeah, I took a risk on. I was like, what are the masses like? Everybody knows MK because it usually does well, like casually.
Yeah,
Oh, boy, is that wrong?
yeah, I can see. And we had percentages, by the way. I added it anyway to do the math on how we would score if this was a test. We would all fail. Brian with 18 out of 31 is still 58%. And that's a failing grade still. So, I mean, we good, but we ain't that good, right?
There's extra credit somewhere, right?
What?
There's extra credit somewhere.
I don't know. I'm not assigning as extra credit. So if there is, you let me know what it is.
There's somewhere.
Okay. That's all I need to bring up for. No, I don't. I need to bring up my notes because there was a lot of announcements and trailers and stuff that aired. Yeah,
Can can I just say
you
the
can.
name of the award show is the Game Awards. So why would you ever announce something and not show gameplay of said game at the Game Awards?
We've been talking about that year in and year out on, and it's not even the Game Awards only. It's showcases where they show us pre-rendered CG of something. I'm like, that's what are you showing me? That you like that's not game. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing too is that like I don't know if this is how they get the funding for these Game Awards, but Muppets, not a game character. Random celebrities, not acting in said games. I mean, some of them are like
Some are
Simu Liu, whatever. Yeah, him and Anthony Mackie. I think he was in something, right? Or no?
in a game, not that I know of. I mean,
There's two people
He
that
was in Twisted
said stuff.
Metal.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. Simu Liu, I think the guy that's in the StarCraft devs new game. There's another famous person, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, and he's
So
in
I,
Interstellar, the video game or something.
so I guess it's okay, but just stand on. Just have actual voice actors present these.
Yeah, like they just trying to get hype because look what celebrities we got. It's like fam, some people don't even care about anything but video games or anime and stuff, so they don't know who these people are.
Yeah,
And if it's
fucking
Taylor, I don't know.
commit. The way that they did Chris voice actor. I mean, he transitioned to gaming.
He transitioned to
Uh,
Heat. He said, "Yo, my speech is longer than Call of Duty's campaign live on for millions of people to see." And I'm like, "You go, man."
what they gonna do? Fight him?
Yeah, what they gonna? I want to see that happen.
He's got DLC, so
He did it. I think it came out today or maybe tomorrow. The roguelite
tomorrow
mode looks
and
fun.
tomorrow.
Same with Alan Wake 2 got a new game plus, which is like, oh, I needed a reason to replay it.
I don't know if Fancy got the DLC, but I'm gonna wait for the second premium one that they mentioned, and then
But
just play them together.
oh, I was gonna say, what's wrong with the first one?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't want to jump back into that just for that. I'm assuming it's like something small, the same day of, and then not play it a bit, and then have to jump back again. Kind of would just have all the content at once.
Gotcha.
What were you gonna say?
I was
The
just gonna
announcements.
mention, yeah, well, before the announcements, what was the last game I came on here review? Was it Alan Wake?
That you came on here and reviewed?
Yeah, or like gave my impressions. I guess would be the. I think it was Alan Wake. Anyway, I tried. I over the weekend I got to the mode of. I don't think I'm starting anything new. I'm just going back and replaying favorites at this point. Like I'm still playing Cyberpunk. I'm still playing Diablo 4. Uh, what else? I don't even know. Oh, I started Red Dead 2 again.
Mm.
I don't know why. I was just like, man, I haven't heard Arthur Morgan's voice in a long time. Dutch. And I just started playing, and I'm like, man, I forgot how beautiful that game was. Even the opening sequence where it's just snow. for the most part. Then once you transition to an actual spot, I'm like, damn, that game looks great. Anywho, I am trying to get through some more movies though before the year's out, so I can. So when we do our Fave Fives next year, I'll have a more complete, you know, completed backlog of 2023 movies, so I can award it correct, effectively, right? But for
Uh,
games, I think I'm too late. I'm not gonna be able to like speed run Baldur's Gate until in a
I
week, right?
last thing I tried was Steamworld build.
Thank you. That was the last thing we tried. That's what happened between 2 weeks because I we did both play, but we never talked about it. I think we were gonna talk about it last week, but then we postponed for this week because we had to swap recording days. So we could talk about the SteamWorld build if you want.
Yeah, I have 14 hours in a weekend of it.
Yeah, I have a weekend's worth playing it. The highest I got was I unlocked the aristocrats
All
buildings or
rich
something.
people.
Yeah, like and I got
Okay.
one or two or like two or three of those things set up in my little city, and then I
I'm
just
on the last stretch. I got all the rocket parts, and I just gotta. I'm not going to, but I gotta grind out like a material to feed the rocket to go.
okay.
Um, and I realized at that point too that my ending, my ending impressions reviews of this coincide with my ending review of Dredge. Uh, I like most of this game, SteamWorld builds, because hey, build this town, mine, and then just explore these parts, get materials, and just keep building. And oh, these guys need this now. We're gonna reorganize and stuff, put in new buildings. Oh, because of this building, I could build something new, so that I build this. And it's like easy going music, and you're just making like seeing the money just stack, and then you keep rinse and repeat. M- Very satisfying to the point where I just lost track of time.
That's what happened to me. I'm like, oh, I'll try this for a little bit because it was on Game Pass, so I tried it out. But now that I've played it on Game Pass, I'm just gonna buy it on Steam because I use Game Pass just to try it. So I'm not. I'm probably gonna uninstall it on Xbox and grab it on Steam. I wonder if it plays well on Steam Dink.
I would think so. It's not. It didn't seem too buggy on here, and it's not too demanding of a game.
Yeah, that's kind of. I
But
was in the same boat. It was like, oh, let me try this. It was very easy going with the music was chill, setting uh buildings and stuff were chill. Like the systems of hey, you make sure it's nearby the things that they want. But the only thing that my only bit is I don't get a sense of how big the radius is for the stuff. So sometimes it's like, hey, I don't have this. I'm like, what?
they show you whenever you have something highlighted and you can put it onto the track, it'll highlight your roads in like light blue to show how far its reach is.
Got it. I did not notice that. Then I'll have to double
But
check when I start again.
that's that's similar. I have a similar complaint in the sense that instead of being able to upgrade buildings, you have to build multiple of the same thing, and sometimes up close to next to this one community so that they get the impact, like the benefits of it. I wish you can just upgrade like a lumber mill, and it's more potent, or it can
Like a
boost
level
more.
2 of it, and it goes further. I thought the same thing. I'm
Yeah,
like, when I start seeing requirements for the people to make them happy, it's like, oh, I want two of these. I'm like two physical ones because they're. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like all of it's nearby. Like why would you want two that close to each other?
mhm.
I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. I started to lose track of like how to get it better and better with it. But once I start over and I start paying attention to like the roads, I'll probably grasp it a little easier.
It's that, and then there's multiple layers when you start mining. And this first layer is like the
Oh
introduction
right.
tutorial one. Then you get to the second one, and now they introduce combat. And at that level, I thought combat was cool, it's a nice little added thing. But then there's a third layer
Oof.
where normally in these kind of games, when you progress to the next layer, the other one kind of chills out and it just manages itself.
Yeah.
Not the case, and this one's more hectic. So it got to the point where I'm like stressing over grinding out certain things, while fucking looking at two battlefields and making sure that everything is fine while also managing a town.
Uh huh.
And it got to the point where I'm like, I started dreading playing. And then after I got everything, I was hoping, all right, I got the last thing for a rocket. I'm done. And no, and then they're like, all right, now grind this material.
Uh
At that point, I'm kind of like, eh.
I get it.
The what I liked about the game kind of wore off, and now it's just grinding this last thing just to grind it.
It went from chill city builder to now we're back to hardcore city builder. Managing
Yeah,
3 layer. It's like you're playing Hades. You got third level. What is that? Tartarus.
it's robots. Um, yeah, but when I got to that point, the part that I like kind of it kind of became a chore to play the game instead of like something to just unwind. And that's kind of I just uninstalled it right now since we were talking about it because like every time I thought about going back and just finishing that last bit, it felt like something I'm just forcing myself to do instead of something I'm looking forward to.
Yep. I
And
mean,
that kind of became my review of Dredge. Everything I said now, or just casually, just late night and you go and you're fishing.
mm-hmm.
It got to the point where now there's certain quests that make you go back to a certain area just to catch a certain fish at a certain time and get it this guy at a certain time of day where he only shows up sometimes.
And then you hit him with the yada yada. And
Yeah,
then
and
he's like,
and it got to the point where it's like, all right, this isn't as fun anymore because now I got too much prerequisites just to give this guy a fish.
yeah,
So I like the games, but it gets to a certain point where it becomes a little too tedious or like troublesome for me to keep wanting to play it as something that's like a casual game.
I feel that. That's kind of where I was. That's kind of what I was getting. Once I unlocked the rich people, I'm like, is he just gonna keep getting worse and worse? So that there's like rich and then uber rich and then
There's
I
one more people after.
yeah, and that's why I was like, okay. I mean, and then I put it down and started load. And then I speaking of grind, I put it down then load up Diablo, and it's like, well, that's the kind of grind I like. Cause I'm actively just attacking shit.
hmm That's the grind. That kind of grind, that's the grind from get go.
Yeah,
It's not like you going from one thing and then it slowly transitions away from the initial game loop, and then it becomes a task instead of something fun to do.
that's fair. I kind of have the same sentiment. I do recommend it for city builder fans. Like it's really chill. It has some pretty cool systems. And again, they're not difficult systems to know. It's just once you compound all the stuff you start getting, it's more the stuff to manage. And then at that point, I'm like, I should have just launched City Skylines. I'm kidding. It doesn't get that crazy, but
It does make me want to play other like civilization management games. Because to my knowledge, the other ones that I was interested in, like they stay as that. Like I wanted to play that one thing it's called Ixion, where it's in space. It looked interesting to me.
and you're making a city in space, like floating in space, or you like go to another planet and make stuff on that planet.
From the screenshots that I saw, it's it's like a city built like kind of like the Citadel in Mass Effect, but with here you make like a community, like a galaxy wide community that you can do,
Oh, okay.
which looked interesting to me.
No, I mean that's SteamWorld build. I think because of SteamWorld build, I started. I noticed that I don't have any achievements for SteamWorld Dig 2. I guess I must have gotten it on GOG or in other ways when I played it the first time. So I'm
hmm
like, I'm back. SteamWorld Dig 2. See if I can get all the achievements in it. And that's a Steam Deck thing. So whenever I'm hanging out on the couch and there's Grey's Anatomy playing, it's time for me to pull out the Steam Deck.
There's still some stuff I want to start before the year ends. I guess for the most part, like Leica, I have that installed for a while. I haven't, and Liza Penis, I want to at least start.
Oh, I did start Baldur's Gate 3 again because the first time I'm like, I don't know what the hell I was doing. So, but now I have a recollection of what I've done and stuff. So I'm excited to keep playing it. That might
I
be a
gotta continue my
Wednesday.
solo save.
Yeah, it might be a Wednesday game because I streamed it. So that playthrough specifically might be a Wednesday game. I thought about making another save already and doing it offline, but picking an origin character instead of my own and see how that
hmm
changes. Because I didn't know you can just pick one of the main casts, and I'm like, oh, so what? I don't know what happens when you do that.
I can only assume
Where they
that you start
started,
the story wherever they landed. I don't know
perhaps.
though. I never did that because if you give me the option to create a character, I'm gonna create a character.
Right. That's kind of what the first thing they was like create a character. But as I was creating it, like live on stream, I saw that you can just pick different. You can pick the cast, and I'm like, if that's the case, that'd be dope because I just You can get yourself in. You can pretend to be that said person. Like the first one I was gonna try to do is the green lady, because everyone seems
Oh,
to like hate.
Lysdale.
Yeah, everyone seems to like hate her off rip. So I'm like, you know what? I can make a story arc out of this and just make her like the cool. Like everyone hates that species, but her, she's the special one. She's good.
If you make her species and talk to Shadowheart, like she starts racist, but you can warm her up to your people.
Yeah, I mean the sec
Because that's
because
you remember the
that's how
guy, the jerk.
she's. Uh huh.
That's that race, and she warmed up to me.
Well, I mean, she's immediately when she saw her in the beginning sequence, she was already like, "Yo, what the hell you doing with this person? Drop her, or you'll die or something." And I'm like, "Chill, I just got here. I don't know what beef you got with people." So there's open world games just have the hook in me right now because I've started Red Dead again. I'm playing Cyberpunk a lot. Uh, I might start a new save for Cyberpunk because I hate the ending I picked for fucking Phantom Liberty's uh story, and I did it just to see what the new ending was, and I hated that ending.
I need to go back to that. That's another thing I want to do. I want to at least get to that DLC. I still have the Resident Evil 4 DLC. I need to get to those as well.
When you get to that Phantom Liberty DLC, make an extra save just in case you want to make changes to that fucking story. Because there's multiple points where the choices you make changes the ending.
What I'm most likely gonna do is, if I finish the DLC, there's a good chance I'm gonna convince myself to move on to a different game.
Oh, then don't worry about it. Then just Godspeed.
And I always commit to my stuff.
I'm not. That's not in question here, right?
And I always.
That's not in question here, right? What was I gonna say? Oh, and then I also saw The Boy and the Heron because I knew it was coming out this weekend. So I was like, I'll take Janiana. We haven't gone to the movies in a long time, so or since Barbie.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it was Barbie. And that was in
You
June,
sure?
July. Yeah,
I feel like you guys watched something after.
I mean at home we watched a bunch of movies.
No, I feel like you went to the theaters after.
After,
Yeah.
no,
'Cause I know I haven't gone since Oppenheimer.
and that's out on digital and physical at this point. What was I gonna say? Yes, we went to go see The Boy and the Heron. Sorry, uh, Miyazaki slash Studio Ghibli's newest film. I don't want to spoil a lot of it, but it's about a boy I think is post World War II, a little after World War II. He lost his mom to a fire while the war was happening, so his dad picked up and moved him and himself to where did they go? I forgot where they went, but they left Tokyo, right? And now the dad remarried, I think, and is having a kid with a new girl, and that's kind of his stepmom. And then it's him adjusting to living in that place, and then like all Miyazaki Studio Ghibli movies, weird shit starts to happen, and memorable characters you start meeting, and it's all of it's great. We watched it dubbed because the cast they had was already great, so I wanted to just hear them. I want to automatically shout out Robert Pattinson. He plays the Gray Heron, and I if you didn't tell me it was him playing it, I wouldn't have told you who it was. He does a great job for voice acting. So and who else is in it? Christian Bale plays the father, which is great. Uh, I don't want to spoil who plays who. Mark Hamill's in it playing a character as well, and you can kind of hear him. He uses a tone that you've heard before. So,
I
um,
didn't. I've only seen one of those movies, Ghibli movies, Princess Mononoke, and I watched it in English because I was told there's famous like
actors in all of them, yeah,
actors, but I wasn't told who. Billy Bob Thornton's in that.
yeah.
I was
Like
like, oh, okay.
the Studio Ghibli movies, you're pretty like to me. There's the exception of the anime. Watch it subbed. No, you can watch it dubbed because they usually hire some really good actors for their stuff. Like I think Christian Bale, I think his debut with Ghibli was Howl's Moving Castle, and he plays Howl. Uh,
Who's the castle?
I don't even know. Uh, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much. Again, the animation, awesome. The attention to detail in the animation, awesome. Uh, the backdrops, you know how they usually draw like the backdrops with like brush stuff and it stays static while you animate. all of those that he showed, fucking beautiful. Uh, the voice acting was great. Writing was funny. Uh, there is some dramatic parts, but it's not too dramatic. Like, it's like, oh damn, that's messed up, and then they move right along, right? They don't really stay on it for too long for some of the stuff. Um, and then the plot itself starts getting weirder and weirder as it goes. So if you're trying to like follow along, cool. If not, just surrender yourself to the adventure. It's easy enough to follow, and then if you're trying to, I haven't found any like crazy videos explaining what all of these stuff are supposed to represent in terms of like parallels. But when I do, I'll probably be like, ah, okay, I get it. Oh, and the music, top tier, top tier
Mm,
music on it. A lot of it's piano based, like piano focused or main, main. You know what I mean? I guess piano.
centric.
Thank you. Centric is the word. But it sounded great, looked great. Pretty good story there about the kid dealing with the loss of his mom, uh, in a way. And then it starts getting weird. And then once you figure out what's happening, you're like, ah, I see what they did. And then it ends. And it's great. I highly recommend watching it. I don't think there's a person I'd be like, hey, you might not like this. It's a good time.
Yeah,
And that's
I'll
all I
watch
got.
it.
What's up?
I said I want to watch it. I didn't know it came out. I just knew that it was a thing. And I need to like find a day to like binge Ghibli movies because I've only seen the one. I've only seen half, involuntarily half of fucking Spirited Away because of you, and then uh Princess Mononoke, which I enjoyed a
Then
lot.
I'll stock up the movie locker with a bunch of Ghibli movies soon. And then whenever you're ready, they'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll put on the must watch my subjective must watch first.
I'm skipping those.
Damn, bro, that's fucked up. It's like, oh, I see he added this first. I'm removing it. I'm gonna watch the last one he added.
Yeah, they're not like intertwined. They're just like standalone
They're all
stories.
standalones. You don't need to. No, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of film, Brian. This whole MCU shit about you gotta go watch Infinity this and that, so you can kind of those. That's TV series shit. I'm not sure why we keep pushing it to
I
film.
mean,
It's a
there's
movie. It should
creative
be
ways to do connections. Like, I mean, didn't you pop off in what was it? What's the name of the movie where James McAvoy plays Split? When they
split.
find out it's in the same world as
That
Unbreakable
was Unbreakable
and Mr. Glass.
oh yeah, Glass came afterwards. You're right. So when Split came out, yeah, he was like, oh snap, he's doing that.
Yeah,
Cool.
so that I mean, it's cool like that. And Alan Wake with Control, when you find out they're in the same world, that's creative ways to do it. It doesn't have to be like the MCU.
And Unbreakable that works because Unbreakable itself, the movie, is built to be a standalone, and they added afterwards. Now we're making movies with that in mind. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can just make it a series of movies. No, how about you make the movie, and then we'll see if we can make it a series that like a sequel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's just me and my hot take movie cinema version. I think that's all I got for review. Steamworld Build and the boy and the Heron. I don't think I've done. I don't. Oh, I did. Last week, coworkers of mine, we've been trying to get or set up a day so we can play Dark and Darker because I never played it before. It's an extraction shooter. It's an extraction game, but like fantasy RPG sort of. Sword and Shield. You could play sorcerer. A bard, barbarian. All that kind of stuff. And you go
Dark
in there
and Darker.
Dark and Darker. Yeah, it used to be on Steam, and then they got into some legal issue, so they had to remove it from Steam. And now they're on a launcher called Chef Games or something. So I just got the launcher. It's like $35 for the game. And yeah, you could play. It's 3 people per lot, like per party size. And yeah, you pick any of like the 7 classes. They're adding Druid soon or something like that. That's what a friend said. And it was fun. It was me, the coworker, and his brother. So they were showing me the ropes, telling me how things work and stuff like that. Pretty much melee focus, since it's like fantasy RPG. Unless you're like a sorcerer and stuff, then you have to do some aiming. But or if you have a bow and arrow, like if you're playing a ranger or something. And you pop in to whatever map you get on. You try to loot shit, and then you try to escape with the loot. If you escape with the loot, loot's yours. If you die, you died, and you lose everything you had on you. So, but you never lose everything to the point where when you load back in, you don't have anything, which is something I do like that I think does better than Tarkov, because Tarkov's will be more realistic. So if like you lose everything and you have to go in, you don't have anything to go in. Here they just reset you with like the base stuff, like a regular sword for a barbarian, things like that. They outfit you with what you need, which I think is pretty cool. And then you start finding stuff as you go. And I did had a great time. I'm looking forward to keep playing it. And you level each class individually, stuff like that.
Do you keep the level, or is it when your character dies, it's back to one?
You keep the level. You're leveling the class pretty much, and then you build out skill trees for that class. Definitely dope. If you haven't played it, I'd recommend it. $35 and it's already pretty fun especially for an extraction looter, whatever you want to call it. Because I know that became a point where the market was filled with them. Right? It was Tarkov, and then what's that? Damn, what was that other one called? That it's free to play, and people I think still play it. And it's like a space one, like an alien one,
A looter shooter?
an extraction shooter. Yeah. Oh my god, what is it called? I'm going to load up something to figure it out.
Oh, it's like something, not something Mars.
Scavenger? No.
I don't think it's free to
Hold
play,
on.
but I think the
It
what you're
is
talking about's on my wish list.
no the one I'm talking about.
Marauders?
No, I've heard of that one, but there's one that's out that's free to play. Free to play extraction shooter, free to play. I'm gonna look it up. Hmm, it's not coming up. I swear to you, it's free to play. Seven best extraction shooters. It's this game right here. I already saw a screenshot of it. I just need them to tell me what the name is. That's Tarkov. Hunt Showdown's really good as an extraction shooter. So if people haven't played that, Deep Rock Galactic is considered an extraction shooter. I don't know about that. Marauders, like you mentioned, Dark and Darker. The Cycle.
That sounds familiar.
The Cycle Frontier. And then there's that top down one called Zero Sivert. Savert?
I don't see it on Steam.
Which one?
The cycle.
The Cycle Frontier should definitely be on Steam. CYCLE : Really? Am I losing my mind? I'm gonna check. Is it the internet? Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, you have something to talk about, Brian. I forgot.
What?
You do have something to talk about.
What?
You had a weekend full of the finals 1.0.
Oh, yeah. I played the beta. It's gonna be the same review. I don't remember if I mentioned it on here. But the finals they announced same day as the Game Awards at Boom 1.0. So me and a friend hopped back in. It's a fun thing to play with people. Um, it's janky, but it's refreshing and it's interesting.
Team based first person shooter, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we told it to.
3 people on your team, first person shooter, like a. It's not. It feels like a BR at times, but it's not really. Like it's arcadey and it's like a team objective game.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it feels like a battle royale game. I don't know how to explain that part. And there's 2 different modes. One of them is there's a vault, like a bank vault, like a little vault. You have to go up to it, crack it open, take it, put it into like a machine,
Mm-hmm.
and cash it like an ATM, and you cash out and you try to get money out of that. Whoever ends up getting to X amount of money or until time runs out wins. And it's I think 3 teams of 3 or 4 teams of 3. It might be mode specific. So the whole point is get that shit, defend this thing. The once the vault's put into the cash out machine, it's a timer and it's constantly going. Once it runs out, whoever has possession of it gets the money. At any point, you can go up and hold the button and steal it.
Oh, okay.
Um, That's where the madness comes in. It's basically once the cash out phase of it goes on, explosions, everybody's fucking gunning you down.
That's insane.
Um,
Like the
there's
floor
level
beneath you is breaking. Yeah,
just building destruction. So a lot of people, maybe if it's on the top floor, start the cash out, put C4, and then wait in another room. If they hear someone's trying to steal it, the whole thing falls down, and everyone's coming in, and the people are throwing fucking gas grenades,
and then
going
just shooting
crazy.
random. Is there friendly fire?
No,
Okay, good. Because I can only imagine I'd just start firing in a general direction, hoping I get
there's
somebody. The whole building's collapsing on me.
there's three classes, and it depends on like kind of like a weight or like a body build classes. Light, medium, and large
Yeah,
people. And they feel similar to the way classes work in Battlefield, in the sense that light is your glass cannon. Move quick as hell. They have movement tools as their ability, and they have like damage. But if you shoot them and like if you look at them and say something mean, they die.
but why Battlefield doesn't have health per
Well,
class?
that the utility and the weapons are class
Oh,
specific,
got it.
so they can have like a thing
Like,
where you go invisible if you're the light guy, like a grapple thing,
mm-hmm.
or just dashes, and then you get things like an SMG or like a double barrel shotgun or like a knife. They're more like all in with the damage, but the second you touch them, they're dead. The class that I think of most when I said the comparison to Battlefield is the medium build, because they are kind of like utility. You can go up to people if they're down, then bring them back. That's the other
Defib.
thing. So if someone dies, they're on a cooldown unless you go and res them. If your whole team dies, the cooldown resets and your whole it's like a squad wipe and you spawn together.
Oof. But it resets as in like you have to wait for like the one who just died. That timer starts.
So let's say, all right, there's three people per team.
Yeah,
Two people are dead, and the game will tell you're the last guy. If I'm at 1 second and you die, the last guy alive, it resets back to 17 for everybody.
that sucks ass. That's what I meant. Like, so if you're about to spawn, you might as well just stay alive so you don't destroy your
hmm
team. Yeah,
Sometimes, like if you're feeling risky, you want to kill somebody, and you're the last person alive, and you know someone's gonna come back. It's better to probably hide.
yeah. Because you just
Or
messed up their spawn.
I don't know if it's class specific. When you die, you leave a little statue of yourself. That's what you res. I don't know if it's just the heavy people, but you can pick up that statue and run with it, and then res them at a specific spot, or just throw it across the map and then go to it.
I'm glad you gave me the. That's my follow up question. Is so if you can grab it, can I chuck it across the map? So
Yeah, you can chuck it.
nice.
The res people. The medium is more like a support utility thing. Like I said, they have the defibs, the instant revive somebody. They have like a healing gun you can pick, and their stuff is more like an AK, like mid range kind of weapons for the most part. And the heavy is you can go melee only and just hit swing a fucking axe at someone. Your ability you can run through a wall if need be, which is hilarious because he just yells the entire time.
And that's all heavy.
They're
And that's heavy class.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a melee weapon. You have like flamethrower, LMG. You can pick. You only have one gun too, so it's not like main gun and pistol. You pick one gun, like a bunch of grenades or gadgets, like a smoke grenade or like a motion sensor, and
Okay.
then you get three. Sorry, you get three gadgets in one gun, and then an ability you pick per class.
Okay.
Um, so the large guys basically, I mean, tank. You're there to distract them, or you're there to just fucking control the crowd,
Yeah, and to
run
get in the.
through a wall, get them in there if you need be.
Yeah, from the description, it sounds like I'm a medium or I'm not doing light from the sounds of it.
I fucking hate heavy. I play light.
Wait, what? Heavy sounds fantastic.
It's real fucking annoying because I'm over here trying so hard to kill them and then dead. Or I'm in a room, all of a sudden I hear yelling, and then they come through the wall and I'm dead.
Jeez. Okay. I mean, you're just selling me more and more. It sounds like heavy is the one to go.
It's what my friend plays. They play heavy. You probably do medium or heavy, but for whatever reason I'm liking the light. The only reason I might play the medium is because they're the only ones with a revolver.
Oh, and you said they're all assigned weapons. So
hmm
how does
Weapons to
the
pick from.
how's the monetization work? It's free to play, so I'm sure they have a season pass or something, or battle pass or something.
Yeah, it's battle pass. The money is just aesthetic stuff. Luckily, um,
Okay,
You
good.
get there's an in-game fake currency, like a non-premium currency that you get from doing challenges or just from playing, and that's
Yeah,
what you use to buy different guns for characters or gadgets or abilities.
but then if that's the case, at a certain point, that currency becomes useless if you've unlocked everything, right?
Yeah, and then from that point on, you kind of just
You can't use that to unlock skins and stuff with that.
not that I saw.
Well, the final. I haven't played your game, the finals, and I can already tell you're doing it wrong. I need to be able to unlock everything without paying a dime. Okay, so swap it up. You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean
Even if it
that's
takes me 10 times longer to do it, that's fine.
Siege has a. I think Siege still has a good model because they still have loot boxes that you get from just winning.
Hmm.
You can save up money, get characters, or for a lot of cosmetics you can get with like in-game money, or you just buy it with premium currency. I think Siege still has a better model.
Well, I would remove the loot boxes. Loot box needs to stop.
I like it.
Worldwide, it needs to stop. The
No, I
battle
like it.
for me, the battle. I think Fortnite has the best one. You gain stars, and then you can pick whatever the hell you want on your battle pass. You don't have to like get to the end. You just have to save up battle pass currency, and then just go buy the shit you want from the
That's
battle
one
pass.
thing. You can have that's what I like about Siege is you have both. You get a battle pass, and then you can just from playing. Hey, it's nice. It's nice to see you just get something.
Nah, it's not nice to see me getting a duplicate or some fucking horrific skin of a character I don't own. That's
Or then you
trash.
use that currency, and then you buy whatever you want with that currency. If you get a duplicate,
Or what do I do with the skin of the character I don't have?
you
I'm looking
gotta
at you,
ignore it.
Apex. Apex, I'm looking right at you, right? Don't give me shit out for characters I don't have. What's the point of that? So I can buy it? Fam, I don't. That makes me not want to buy it.
I'm surprised they haven't done like a system like the card games have, where you can just get rid of cards for currency and craft whatever card you want.
I guess that's what the duplicate thing is. I don't know.
No, like even if you don't have a duplicate in like let's say Hearthstone, so you got this one rare card and you're like, I don't even play this fucking class. You can just dismantle it and use that money to make a whatever card you want.
Oh, that's it. That's a better system. That way it's not just sitting in my account as if I use it.
Hmm.
Only for it to be like, oh, you do have this already. That's the worst. Here's a duplicate of a skin you don't fucking use because you don't own the character to use it. And
That's
we'll
another
give you
thing that
a
I find
fraction of
stupid.
the fucking how much it would
I don't
normally cost.
I don't like when games give you things for someone you don't have. I would like. I mean, that's I guess that's a way to cheese it, but like just get stuff for that one character. But I think it makes more sense to just hey, you only have these guys. You can only get this stuff.
I mean, and then get duplicates over and over again until you can afford a new character with your in-game currency, and then now you have a new character to get stuff from. Ain't
Hmm.
that difficult? I clickety
Um,
clack on a daily basis. I know it ain't difficult.
I wish they had some kind of. I mean, I think from leveling your account, you get some aesthetic stuff, but it's like, meh. So far, I haven't got anything. I'm like, yo, that's crazy that I got that. Seems like everything that's interesting is behind the actually buying it or the battle pass.
Yeah, they give you customizations that's not on the battle pass, and it's like a recolor. And it's like, well, how about just give me an RGB slider that I can just make the color myself, and you work on new models or something, right?
No, at least with this, they do different actual clothing.
Oh,
Like it seems like
it's not
there's no
texture
like
swaps.
no, not really. It seems like they're all pretty different. That being said, I'm not high in level to see if there's a this same shirt you start with, but reverse color stripe or something. So
Yeah, I
maybe
hate
there is.
seeing that.
Yeah,
Overwatch
I
Two
don't like it.
is Overwatch Two is prime suspect. They're prime criminal in that. Here's a bunch of common and uncommon. It's literally just a color change. What the hell you charging me for, fam? That's a slider.
It's at least or just do it where like each costume has variants. Like this costume has this color, this color, this color. But it comes with that at, like as one. You buy that one costume, you get the variants. I think that's a way to do it.
I wouldn't even do
Or a slider.
variants. Just there's an RGB. If it looks like you're just changing RGB values, that's what you should give me. A fucking RGB fucking wheel, and I'll choose the color. Not here's variant 1 through 17, and they're different color. Fam, don't do that. We smarter now. We're in 2023. There's kids decrypting shit on their iPads at age 5. We're good. We don't need variants. Just give me the shits. We learn how to use it. That's trash, bro. Got me
Mm.
tight already. Horrendous monetization
Uh,
strategies.
yeah. Besides that, I haven't played it by myself, so I don't know how much I hate the world. But playing with people is fun, something to do.
That was gonna be my next question. Is like, is it only fun with people, or can you solo queue? And like, do they have single player, like a free for all deathmatch or something, or is it only team based stuff?
Not yet. I think so far the two modes are team based. The other one is like kill confirmed, but more stressful. Um, the other mode, so you shoot someone, they drop a coin, you pick up the coin. Instead of the cash out, like you pick up the vault, you go to these specific stations to cash out the coins
Oh,
you pick up. But that one's more stressful because people just wait at the things
yeah, they
and
can
then
just
leave you.
babysit it and wait for it. Yeah, I can see that being a problem, especially if there's only one location. Like they should have multiple and have people go to random ones so they don't know which one they're gonna be at.
Yeah. Um,
I'm just designing stuff for free. The finals, just you can take the idea, I guess.
but I mean, as playing in the beta and playing now, just maybe nitpick stuff. Uh, for some reason, I kept kicking a friend of mine, just disconnecting them for no reason. Uh, just small things that I found annoying. Like if I melee and I can see my elbow going through your chin, sometimes it wouldn't register.
Well, I mean that's a latency. That's net code
I don't know if it's that like the melee's not active all the way through. Like if it's like siege where it's like
or that
right
too.
here is where they hit him with. I don't know. With no melee weapon, I already got 12 fucking melee kills. Um,
Nice, you're out here. So and you're picking a scout. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That heavy sounds like that's you can bash through a wall and get this close to them with your bashing, and then you can start wailing on them.
yeah, but he doesn't have a double barrel shotgun
What does that matter if you're meleeing?
because I like double barrel shotguns.
You like to melee with double barreled shotguns.
It's literally I'm walking up at them like a scout, and if you survive the two shots, I just start meleeing.
So you mean when the heavy survives the two shots, you kill your heavies with
No, with
melees?
him, I shoot twice, and I see that there's still plenty of health, and I'm gone until I reload, and then I come back.
Yeah. So it sounds like so you have to poke. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I have to download it since it's free. I have to give it a shot.
It's fun. If you want to play, let me know. But I'm enjoying it with people. I haven't played by myself, so I can't say anything about that.
I'm gonna try both. I'll try with a party, and then I'll try with my own to see how it works, how the queuing works. Waiting for people like, hey, you any good? You trash, and then just curses me out and gives me slurs.
But
That's the
another
online
game that I
gaming.
tried too is uh with the announcement of Pony Island 2 from Daniel Mullins, the guys who made Inscription.
Yeah.
I went on like literally as they announced it, and went onto Steam and saw the first Pony Island was 75 cents, so I bought it. And a friend of mine, we basically played Inscription co-op, and it's a single player game because there's a lot of ARG or like I don't know if there's like a genre that this falls under, but you know those games where it seems like it's X thing, but that's just the top of the tip of the iceberg, and it's a way different game.
Yeah, I think it's Onion Games.
That's what Inscription was, and we turned it co-op because there's ARG stuff built in the game, and where the Charlie Day meme where they're pointing at the thing.
Yeah.
That's I was screenshotting shit like, but if you put this here, what?
Uh huh.
That's what that game became, and I loved Inscription. If I would have played it the year it came out, it damn well easily top three favorite games of that year. I think it
Easy
was not.
5-5, Fave 5.
Yeah. I started playing this, and because I know this guy, like, because it's Daniel Mullins. So because I know how Inscription is, I can only assume that this was the same thing. Right off the gate, you think you're playing a platformer, like those games that are mobile games where you just run and then there's like little things you jump over. You just gotta go to the level.
Yeah.
It starts like that in a game called Pony Island, and what it inevitably becomes is you find out you're dead in hell, and you're basically trying to free your soul and some other guy who came up in that world.
Oh, okay.
And I've only played 81 minutes of it, and I'm already like, I
Can't
fucking
wait to.
love this.
Okay. That's good.
I think this guy. There's another game he has called the Hex. I might just buy that as well and just play this discography.
It might be on sale because, I mean, the first Pony Island was on sale because it was part of the Game Awards. So the Game Awards sale. Oh, no, the Game Awards sale I think ended at 1 p.m. today. So I don't know if you'll find it on sale.
Uh, Same price as before. I don't think it was on sale.
Okay.
Um, yeah, they're I guess they're onion games, and there's way it starts as one thing, and then it inevitably becomes way more. And this little story they build upon this is always interesting enough that you keep progressing, and then you want to know what the fuck's going on. I haven't finished this yet, obviously, but from the bit I played, it's giving me inscription, it's scratching the inscription itch, and I think I found another fucking dev that I thoroughly enjoy.
Knocking it out of the park for you.
Hmm.
Okay. I think we can transition into the game awards here because I don't think I have anything else. And if that's the case, oh, excuse me. Lack of caffeine today, I guess. Anyway, Game Awards went. Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. Congratulations to Larian. I don't know how to pronounce her studio name. Uh, well earned. Same with a lot of the nominees too. 2023 was a great year for games. That's another thing I gotta start doing too. Dwindling down my fave 5 for everything. Anyway,
I'm
of
gonna write
course,
that down.
what
I know off the top what are like top contenders. I just gotta put it down on paper.
for me it's gonna be a little more than that. I gotta look at what I played because I forgot what I played. And just because I forgot doesn't mean it ain't great, you know. Excuse me. Damn, I keep losing my spot here. Game Awards. Uh, bunch of world premieres. They dropped the whole world premiere like video beforehand. I'm not sure what happened there, but they're world premieres, but they don't have the world premiere anymore.
Huh.
Probably the guy who said it wanted more money or something. I'm kidding. Anyway, we have a bunch of announcements. Some announcements were super surprising. Some of them were, I think, some of them were just, "Hey, reminder, this game's out," or "Reminder, this game's coming out later." And then we had some pre-rendered stuff like the Interstellar. I don't know if the Interstellar. I think the Interstellar movie, the Interstellar like game had like some gameplay near the
Exodus.
end. Yeah, I think it had some gameplay near the end. But I mean, the
Yeah,
whole trailer was just sus in my opinion. Like it was just like you're just. It has Interstellar written all over it. Like it seems like story beats are very similar. Like it's too similar for me. Right. I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's just too similar for me. We'll
it's
see if it.
it felt like looking at it felt like the same complaints I had for Andromeda. It just felt like a lifeless copy. Gameplay wise, I mean, it's obviously I could be wrong because it's just off of what they've shown us and it's just a trailer. But it just seemed like a safe copy and paste of something that people liked,
Yep.
which is that. And then the gameplay was, hey, let's people like Mass Effect. Space people like Mass Effect, right?
If they like
Let's
space, they might like Mass Effect. And those
yeah,
who like Mass Effect like space. So
yeah.
here we go. Anywho, we did get Windblown, the next game from the people who made Dead Cells, I think it is. That already had small tidbits of gameplay and it's looking pretty fun. Co-op too this time around, so and their combat was fun in Dead Cells, so if they're bringing that kind of combat to top down 3D co-op game, I am wishing them the best. I'm definitely gonna play it. I don't remember I should have wrote down the dates if they had dates, but a lot of the stuff that we're gonna talk about is 2025. Some of them are 2024, I think. Some of the indie stuff, but these are gonna be. We're gonna talk about these with no. I don't have a recollection of when these are supposed to come out, so I'm just gonna talk about the games, and if you guys could look it up on your own time. And I'm talking about Windblown by the devs of Dead Cells. They also showed a trailer for Usual Jane, which I thought. I'm sorry, Usual June, which I thought was pretty cool. Another looks like third person action beat 'em up or RPG or some sort. That looked pretty fun, stylized. It looks pretty cool. Uh, and like Brian mentioned earlier in the show, God of War got a new mode for free. It looks like a roguelite. So if you enjoy the combat a lot for God of War, now you can just endlessly replay it. It's been a while since I launched that game up, so maybe. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. Because if I loaded the PS5, it's to play Final Fantasy at this point. Um, the funny looking game by the people who made, what was it? The Untitled Goose Game. Uh,
Mhm.
Big Walk, I think it was
Yeah.
called. That looked pretty fun. Looked like a chill, fun time with friends on a server, I guess, of some sort. And you just run around and do wacky stuff together. Uh, the developers of, what is it? Ori series, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Ori, I forgot, Whispers of the Wind or something. I forgot what the second one was called.
Moon Studios.
It's Moon Studios. They announced their next game, which from the trailer
That's
looked
my highlight.
fucking dope. Uh,
That No Rest for the Wicked, that's what it's called.
yeah.
That, which apparently is online co-op, according to Steam.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh, everyone's trying co-op now. Huh? These indie devs are like, you know what? Let's up the ante here.
That, and I mean, I don't know if this counts because they've already announced this prior during the Xbox showcase. The fucking new game by Atlas, the Metaphor Refantasio. That shit was
Oh,
fucking hype to me.
oh no, I didn't write that down on my to talk about. So we'll talk about it.
Fall 2024. It looks like I don't even know how to explain it because it has the similar aesthetic to Persona games,
Mm-hmm. Is it
but
same
it's like
dev? Is it Atlas?
yeah, it's Atlas,
Okay.
but it's like medieval. It's like a sci-fi medieval fantasy. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks nice. It looks like it might be still be turn-based. The characters that they showed, they look fucking cool. So I'm excited.
That's wild.
It's a new IP, so I'm wondering what's gonna be like the gimmick for this.
Well, that's two at this point. The the not Blue Dragon. The Akira Toriyama JRPG is coming out too.
What
I
was
forgot.
it? Badlands or something?
Yeah, I think
Wildlands?
something like that. I think it's Badlands. I think you got it right. So you have two JRPGs to try out.
I'm more
But I,
excited for this.
but I think the Badlands one's going to be on the Game Pass. So oh, you don't have Game Pass. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't Game Pass. I, why
Gosh
am I
damn it.
feeling like No Rest for the Wicked's in March? Did I make that up or did they say March?
You tell me. The thing I don't remember is the release dates. I remember the games because at this
Fuck
point
that
the
Reddit
release.
release date.
What?
Did you? No, I typed in release and then they corrected on Google to Reddit, so I looked up Reddit for the game.
Oh, okay. I guess while you're looking that up, Sega had a crazy trailer showing off they have 5 retro games that they're remaking. I don't know if they're remaking or it's a new entry, but they're just bringing back Sega IPs that have been long forgotten. Right?
They're
I
remaking
It's a remake. Oh, so it's not like a new addition to the
no, I
series.
thought they're making new games for them.
them. They're redoing Golden Axe.
Yeah, they're doing Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and what was the fifth one?
Uh,
Alter Beast.
Ultra Beast. That's what I think it was. I mean, that even that when that trailer started, I think it's on the YouTube video now for the
it's
reaction.
new games. It's not remakes.
Oh, it's the new games in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Jet Set, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of
Shinobi.
Rage, Crazy Taxi.
What do
Yeah,
they mean by new games though?
they're a
Like
new game.
not a remake. It's a sequel essentially.
Like the next in line. Like it's not. They're not remaking something. Like it's not gonna be like Resident Evil 4 where it's the same game but it just looks prettier. So they might add new mechanics. They might not. When that trailer started, I was talking so much shit. I'm like, what is this fucking trailer? Like it was live action and they're talking about game and stuff, and then they go to that quick compilation. I'm like, whoa, they announced like 5 games in a matter of seconds, dude. And there had small tidbits of gameplay. So on the bright side, there was gameplay to see. Uh, the Streets of Rage one looks fun. Is it Streets of Rage?
Mm-hmm.
That one looks fun because it looked like it's like the isometric one and the 3D assets and stuff, and they were like beating the shit out of each other. I'm like that looks like it can be good.
I'm surprised no Virtual Fighter
I'm not.
because they ported. Was it last year they ported Virtual Fighter to place the I don't know Steam but PS5, right?
I don't know. I don't follow Virtua Fighter. And that might be why they're not making a Virtua Fighter. No one's following Virtua Fighter. Because they haven't made Virtua Fighters. So when's the last time they made a Virtua Fighter?
A new one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think PS3, PS4 era.
Yeah, so but that doesn't surprise me. No one, I'm sure they stopped because it wasn't selling. And I mean, that's what happens with fighting games. Unfortunately, they don't sell as well.
It might have just been now they're realizing that there's more than Sonic.
Probably, or they finally decided, hey, we should start taking risks because these other publishers are taking risks, and sometimes it pays off really well for them. So that's good. It was a dope. At first, I'm like, what the heck are we seeing here? It was like a live action segment. Then they started announcing. I'm like, oh, finally. It was super hype. I mean, I don't have a close attachment to those games. I mean, I played a little bit of Jet Set Radio when it was on Xbox. I think it was a demo we had or something, or maybe we rented it.
We had it on Xbox.
And Streets of Rage. I mean, yay, they're making a new one, but the side scrolling one they made a while back also slapped. So
Golden Axe is gonna be fun.
Streets of Rage 4, sorry. Like that one was dope. So if they're making another one, cool. It's gonna slap because 4 was fun. And you said
Those
Golden
big-
Axe? I didn't play a single Golden Axe, so I have no context of that game.
It's like a side-scrolling. I guess you say beat 'em up.
Is it? I thought it was a JRPG.
Golden Axe? No, I don't.
Oh.
Beat them up.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I might check out an older one then. I thought it was like one of them JRPGs. I might be thinking of Golden Sun. No,
Golden Sun's another JRPG.
that might be what I'm thinking of then. I might have to go check out Golden Axe then. And then Shinobi, which everybody's trying to be a ninja, and that from the art style looks like they chose. It looks like it's gonna be like a traditional, like they drew it in that art style. Like
Looks
it'll
like
like
Shadow Dancer.
I mean, it looks dope. That art style. I hope they stick with it. Unless that was just like early, like sprites or something.
You imagine what I think of now when I'm looking at this? So they just announced 5 new entries. Capcom.
What Sega just. I want Capcom to look at me right in the eyes as I say this. What Sega just did, you need to do. Period. You have too many IP just sitting there. This would be a great, even if they're small games, that's fine. Just like these are probably going to be small little games that come out and it's going to be good. Like you have too much IP, Capcom, to be sitting there like dropping only 1 or 2 a year. Like
Only
there's
showing love to Monster Hunter and Resident Evil for the most part.
there's a bunch of independent developers that would love for you to let them get the IP, let them run with it, right? Like you have the IP, just stop being stingy, take risks. That's my end of my PSA. You can stop looking at me now, Capcom, unless you want to, but I don't see why.
They still have that whole game that they announced and never showed anything from. You remember that? I don't remember the name, but it was like a little girl.
Yeah, and the thing came out of space or some shit on the tower. Yeah, I don't know
like
what it is.
Primordial or some shit like that. I don't know, Pre-Exodus or something like that.
No, Primordial's that dinosaur one.
Exoprimal's that one.
Oh, Exoprimal, sorry. That'd be weird if they called it Primordial, because that's also Capcom, I think. Exoprimal, isn't that Capcom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what showed the new Monster Hunter, which if it's completely open world, I'm excited.
Yeah, people have been waiting for the new monster, like the new proper.
Oh my god, man!
You just said that out loud, Randall. So what? Oh my god,
I'm sorry.
what happened?
I was just re-looking at the video.
Sega?
Golden Axe. Okay, I'm like, what video is this man watching in the middle of this?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the video that showed all the games, but I'm just looking at how good Golden Axe looks.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They need to.
It's like 2D hand drawn. It's kind of like what was the name of that game?
Skullgirls?
No.
Okami?
It was the side scroller with this dude. He had 2 blades.
Shank.
Mark of the Ninja?
Shank. Yeah.
Same thing. Mark of the Ninja is the same developers as Clay, I think. And that had the same I think that had the same art style too. Mark of the Ninja did it. Is it the same? Is it that studio that's taking care of it, or is it all in-house Sega developers? Okay.
I just thought when I initially saw it, I thought it was just like traditional sprites, but it's actually hand drawn animation, which makes it look so cool.
It'll age well too. Yeah, the Sega ones was a very good announcement. Brian mentioned it.
Streets of Rage looks like doesn't look like a side scroller anymore. It's just 3D.
It looks 3D. I think the 3D assets, but I
No,
think
it is 3D.
it's still 3D assets, but I don't think you can change the camera from that trailer. It looked like it was still fixed, and you can go up and down like the 2D brawlers, but I think it's 3D assets, unless they have new footage somewhere.
It'd be interesting if they did like Streets of Rage, a bit more like the Dynasty Warrior games.
I don't know if that'll work that well. I mean, it should. I mean, you can still catch like 7 people in the middle of a combo in Streets of Rage, so why not add
Maybe not
a
like that
0 to that?
scale, but
Yeah.
like maybe like the Devil May Cry, but Streets of Rage characters or something.
I mean, I'm down for them to
Mhm.
bring back the era of beat 'em ups again. So, I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge did really well. Scott Pilgrim back in the day did really well. Streets of Rage 4 was really good.
I didn't get to try the new Double Dragon, but I think people liked it.
I haven't even seen it, I think.
I remember I let somebody hold my Crazy Taxi and they never gave it back.
I never played
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi. I heard it was like pretty fun, but the whole timer thing on everything, I'm like, I don't know.
Stressful to me.
Yeah. So
I
I never
played it
gave
in
it
the
a
arcade.
I never gave it a shot.
I'm just thinking like Capcom has more than 5 IPs. They could do an announcement just like this.
They just need the bandwidth. Like make some smaller teams, dude.
Randa, you imagine so the way that Golden Axe looks, but they did that for Red Earth.
What's Red Earth?
It's an older fighting game.
Mm.
I'm sure you've seen the sprite. Is a lion with a sword, and that's one of the fighting game characters.
From Invincible?
No.
Oh.
But if you look at Red Earth, and you look at the sprite work. It's like really well done.
Oh, okay.
That's when Capcom was in their bag,
Oh, when they were like, we got
and
nothing to lose.
and then they like kind of never really did anything with it.
They
Or
do.
if they did that with Darkstalkers or something.
I remember this.
You said you do.
Yeah, I remember it.
They can do that. Bring back Onimusha. An interesting take on Okami. Make it like Ori, where it's just a Metroidvania instead.
They have the IPs. That's why I did the PSA earlier. Like, that's for them to figure out. They have the IP. Start taking risks, bro. It doesn't have to be a AAA title either, man. Like, you look at Streets of Rage 4. It comes out. It'll run almost anything, and people like it. It's fun. Like, it is not all your IPs need to be AAA. They don't have to be
Fucking
AAA games.
get Windjammers 2. Like
Oh, that's
first one
true.
was ancient, and they brought this back, and it still feels good. There's one mechanic I don't like, but besides that, I enjoyed myself.
Like,
Fuck.
yeah. I mean, not to say that we don't want Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter World was a huge success. So if they're making a sequel of that, and it's current gen, or I guess current gen now, because we're in it now. Only titles, it's gonna look and run great, hopefully.
Yeah, the rant we're going on is not to deter from the Monster Hunter having like piquing interest in me, but like developers that have been around as long as Capcom or like a Sega, even SNK could. SNK is playing more risky than the other two I mentioned, but there's so many of these companies that are sitting on such a fucking catalog, and they just kind of push what's safe. Nintendo with the Mario's and Legend of Zelda, because they know that shit's gonna push an entire console.
Well, they're actually doing different things in each game in there.
Mhm.
Well, besides Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, that kind of they made some changes, but it's pretty similar. And they, speaking of which, they came out and said that their next one is not going to be like this anymore. So the next Zelda's not going to be like a Tears of the Kingdom open world. I don't know if it's going to be open world or not, but
To their defense, though, Tears of the Kingdom started off as DLC they were gonna make for Breath of the Wild, and they said this is way too much content. And that's why they made Tears of the Kingdom a separate game.
that's fair. I
But
cut
yeah,
you off there. Yeah. I forgot. My bad. Oh,
that's
making Mario's and stuff.
they're playing it safe. SNK's been digging into their classics. They're making a new fucking Mark of the Wolves. They're bringing back. They're making a tactics game out of Metal Slug.
Yeah, that was a
which
weird
is
choice. But I mean, I know that's weird, but that's the kind of risk I'm looking for, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, if it bombs, it bombs. But you guys tried it, right? You give it a shot to see if it worked. If you, and I don't know if they've made a tactics game before. That team has made a tactics game before. It might be them trying it out.
That's the thing. Like, so let's say Capcom tries it with something and it fails. Guess what? They always have other Resident Evil games they can remake to get the money back. They can
Fam,
always
yeah,
release Monster Hunter stuff to get the money back. They can always release another Devil May Cry, get the money back.
perhaps. I don't know how well. I think it did well.
I think it's
The
so.
fifth one, but I don't know for sure. Um, so yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds looks cool from the small little games that we saw. Rise of Ronin, the next game from the people who made Neo and Neo 2. That open world samurai shit looks dope.
Oh,
Like that,
yeah.
it looks. The combat that I like in Neo 2 is when you're fighting other humans, but once you start fighting the monsters, it starts getting like weird. It looks like they're like, hey, let's just make them fight the humans, and that looks like it's more like an engaging fight because the parrying, the different sword. I don't know if you'll be able to play with anything but swords and pole arms or whatever, but
Remember, that guy had a gun.
oh my god, you're right. Never mind. He pulled out a revolver and just unloaded on the guy. So like the combat
Mm-hmm.
looks fun. It's gonna be open world. This is our first time trying open world, so we'll see how that goes. And it's looking super fun. Speaking of which, Black Myth Wukong, a new
That
trailer
shit looks
dropped.
hype too.
That just looks so much fun. The combat and the boss fights in that look really fun. So we'll see. So those are two like ones that I put next to each other so I can reference them. The gameplay is king. The combat in both of those look really fun. I mean, and it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that Black Myth Wukong is taking full advantage of a lot of the Unreal's graphical goodies. So that's gonna be
Um,
dope. Another thing that I put. Oh, you got some that you put down?
yeah. Let me see. Something that surprised me, and it looked fucking hype, and it's kind of in the same realm of the Souls-like thing you're mentioning.
Here we go. See if he has the same thing. Go.
The first Berserker,
Yeah,
the Nexon game.
I put it on my list. That should look really fun.
There's slight bias because there was a time where I fucking loved Dungeon Fighter, and to make them experimenting with characters from their IP and making things branch off of it. I mean, it looks fun.
Yeah,
It's not the
another.
class I played, but
Where's the first? I don't know what you played. You played Fighter, right?
I I, I made a battle mage for a bit.
Battle Mage. That's what it was. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks like a fun action RPG again.
Speaking of branching out, the fucking Dead by Daylight casting of Frank Stone, them that seems like like a no brainer to like actually make stories off these characters that you're making, and it kind of oh that character's cool ties it
Yeah,
back into this game.
especially since they pick super massive games who are like pros at this point, man. Until Dawn is such a great fucking piece of media, dude. If you haven't played it, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, good for them. That is the team to do that. Uh, Visions of Mana, dude. I never played any of the Mana games. That trailer for Visions of Mana, I want to try it out.
I call the way it looked. I'm like I've seen this before,
Uh
and
huh.
it had to be a mana game. I've played. I think I shooned it for a bit. Was it Secret of Mana?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's like a top-down action RPG.
That sounds
I
like a
think it's
Secrets of Mana
and
or
I liked
Tales
it.
of Mana.
It's either Tales or Secret of Mana, and I liked it. And even though it was like sprites,
Mm-hmm.
almost the same like
Vibe.
colored palette, I'm excited.
Yeah, that trailer was just all the environments look super vibrant, but with good shading and like lighting is great. Like it looked great. So I mean, it looks fun. And
JRPGs are
I
where
don't
it's at.
know if they showed combat in it. They showed them exploring a lot. It had
They
combat.
combated.
Okay, I have to rewatch the trailer. Uh, that one I liked a lot. Lost Records was pretty cool.
Bloom and Rage.
Yeah. Tales of Kenzera, the guy who's making the game based off his pops. That looks pretty fun. It was like like looks like a Metroidvania.
What's funny is when he was getting ready to present it, I was already invested because like his story was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of my mind, when the screen blank, I'm like, please don't look like shit after he just got me invested.
I did
And
the same
it
thing.
delivered.
It delivered, man. Like I'm like, I don't know who you are and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm making a game, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be Unravel again. Is it Unravel? When
The
you're a
yarn?
yarn, yeah. Remember that
Oh,
guy
that's
went.
Ubisoft though, right?
That was EA.
Oh,
They got an indie developer. It was just that guy. Remember when he went up there and he was nervous, shaking, his voice was breaking because he's never been in front of a crowd, and he was announcing the first Unravel.
no, I don't remember that.
What?
For
That
some
was
reason,
like
as you were describing
showcase
it,
history.
I just pictured Mark Cerny in my head.
He was there at the Game Awards designing the next PS5 Pro. That's rumored to be leaking out soon because they sent out um, dev kits. So someone's gonna leak it out of the specs. PlayStation 5 Pro. Um, what else? The Tales of
I
Kensera
found
looks
out.
cool. Oh,
Found out that Exoborn. Remember that game where it showed two, like a big guy fighting a guy, and then he picked up something, and he punched him out of a glass, and his teammate came.
uh
That's gonna be an extraction shooter.
oh, okay.
It's gonna be, but this is what I don't get. One of the tags is real time tactic. So what the fuck does that mean?
Like XCOM. We'll
I don't know,
see.
but
Because that's another trailer that I got really mad at. I didn't even bother putting it on this list because it was just a pre-rendered video. To my knowledge, I didn't know what that was. Not gameplay. It was just a cinematic. I think it said at the bottom, "Hey, it's pre-rendered," and some guy getting punched out of a glass. Someone saves him, and then they look at this huge area and go, "Get ready for what? How do we play? Right? What are you doing on moment to moment?" None of that's
I
communicated. So I'm not gonna get hyped for your game. All you did was show me a cutscene.
I added it to my wish list just because I looked at the description on Steam. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have added it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. Uh,
You're missing one that you haven't named yet.
I'm keeping it for last. It's probably if I'm thinking of what you're thinking of, it's because it's my favorite fucking announcement so far.
Most likely.
Uh, but there is Marvel Blade. The developers from Deathloop, Prey, Arcane came out and finally showed off that they're making a Blade movie. I'm sorry, a Blade game, which might come out near the same time as the Blade movie. Just trying to call that out now because I'm sure that's a Disney scheduling shit. Um, I think it was a pre-rendered. I don't recall them showing gameplay, right? Like it was just him at the barbershop.
Yeah, it's about the barber
Yeah,
shop.
so points deducted because yeah, you're making a new game, but all you showed me was the logo, and the guy had crazy drip when he was talking about it. That's it.
They
That's not
also
enough
said that
to.
it's gonna be third person, which is new for them.
It is, which is I'm excited to see how they handle that because all of their stuff has been first person. Uh, and last but not least on my list of what was dope about Game Awards, I gotta tell you a little story about No Man's Sky. Developed by Hello Games, came out 10 years ago. And before it came out, boy, were we hype. Because the trailer they showed us about infinite worlds and stuff, and we're like, what? That shit was dope. Unfortunately, it came out and it just did not deliver on a lot of stuff. It didn't even have multiplayer at the time. Like, you can experience it with your friends and tag like different planets, and you may not ever run into anybody, and whatever. What was done 10 years ago. Over the last 10 years, they've been updating and adding so much stuff to No Man's Sky. From getting freighters to having dogfights in the air, creating your own base on multiple planets, whatever you fly to. If you want, you can play a thing up to like four. Is it four? Six? You can play co-op. You can hang out, like you can play together and build a house on a planet somewhere, or go to a friend's planet and just chill, or set up a whole raid of you get a frigate and all your friends go up there and take on the stars with you. It's just a space game as close as it could possibly get, right? You can get bounties and go hunting for people. Like if you're what's his name, Han Solo or some shit, you can just run random fetch quests so you can unlock something. You can do so much. So Hello Games was at Game Awards to announce their next game called Light No Fire. And now at first I'm like, okay, we're here, we're gonna get a logo, and that's about it. To my surprise, he brings a trailer with him. Within the trailer it says in-game multiplayer gameplay, and the goal is to make a procedural Earth, the same way the Hello Games team made procedural space by making a bunch of planets. You can get a bunch of ships, fly anywhere, etc., etc. The ambitious goal this time is to make one planet filled with, all of it randomly procedurally generated, from the depths of the waters that you can go to the hills that you can climb into. Like, that's what that trailer says. Uh, and I'm already on board. If they treat that game the way they've been treating No Man's Sky, with supporting it for so long, when this comes out, it's gonna. It might not have everything we just saw. I'm already ready for that, because that's what happened with No Man's Sky. But if they gave it 10 years of love after it comes out, I'm already hyped.
The thing that worries me, I liked what I saw, but the thing that worries me is he says that every player is going to be on the same Earth. So what I'm worried about is like, if you come in later in the game, does that mean there's nothing for you to find that no one else has found? You know?
We'll see, because the way it depends on how they solve that problem. Like, maybe they'll have it might be the same Earth, it might not be. It depends on what he means, but like, I think it might be too early to. That's what I'm saying. It's too early to quote stuff, because things will change during development, right? Like, the people that are playing his game are just his team, right? They don't know what happens if hundreds of people connect and see what happens to the Earth. Then do they spawn them in different spots? Like, what they're working on, if it's a lot, unless they have been testing with a bunch of people and we just don't know it yet. But that's so far my most anticipated. It skyrocketed when I saw when he talked about it. I'm like, okay, they're making a new game. We'll see what happens. Then the trailer played, and I'm like, it's time, bro. It's time to get hype again for something, and I think that's it for me. Light No Fire. I'm looking forward to it a lot. He said 2025, or did he even? Or I don't even know if they've mentioned the date. He just showed the
Probably.
trailer and dropped the mic and walked away.
Um, release date's only to be announced.
Yeah, take your time, please take your time, because if you guys deliver the way you guys have been delivering No Man's Sky, I can't wait to play it. And that's all I wrote down for the Game Awards stuff. That was, in my eyes, hype. I don't know if you guys have anything else.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, if not, that's fine. I mean, we can sort out.
Everything else is stuff that I already knew about. I'm looking. What my list is what let me add it on my Steam wish, because I didn't write anything down,
Oh,
with the exception of the Metaphor game, because they announced it at the Xbox show, and like I said, I was like, this shit's gorgeous, and they showed it again. I'm like, yo, this shit's gorgeous.
it's still gorgeous.
Fall 2024. We're gonna see how gorgeous that shit is. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Something was announced for March 1st, and that's what's bothering me. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Just look up game release date March 1st, 2024, and see what happens. Let Google work. They announced they have a new AI. Hopefully they feed it to the AI and they'll figure it out.
Okay, is everything announced?
Oh, that too. You can just look at
I
everything.
I didn't like that they did a world premiere for a remake, the Brothers game.
Oh yeah, like that game is really good. It's just an acid and like remake, which is not a bad thing. Again, like that game is really old. It was back when I was still in my apartment days when I played through that. And yeah,
Mm.
if they're remaking it for newer systems, they can make it look a lot better, and it looked a lot better.
Uh, I don't remember seeing that much content on it, but when they showed the Prince of Persia game, I was hyped because it looks more Metroidvania like.
Oh yeah, I didn't add it on here because we've seen it before, but the Prince of Persia game looks pretty fun too.
That fucking no rest for the wicked shit it's got a hold on me, Anthony.
For me, it's light enough. I'm gonna rewatch that. I'm gonna rewatch that trailer after this because I only remember what I saw at the Game Awards, and it was already late. Like it lasted a lot longer than normal. Like, we were done with the whole Game Awards like at what, almost 11
Mm-hmm.
Eastern.
Um,
What happened?
it just the way that there's a story in that trailer, like for no rest of the wicked. When I got to the last frame, I was like, oh, is this the story? They showed just a dead king,
Mm-hmm.
and they sprinkled characters. They did some combat, and then they showed dead king. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. And then it shows the characters you met around the corpse. And I'm like, oh shit.
It's gonna be good.
I'm,
I
I'm
believe in him.
uh, Rise of the Ronin. You mentioned that's March 22nd.
Is Rise of the Ronin? Yeah, that looked so. When they first announced it, I'm like, oh, this might be dope. Especially like I mentioned, they're focusing on human to human combat, so I think they're gonna excel here. Because they have like in Neo 2, they have a lot of stances and different attacks you can do per item, and I'm like, that's really cool. But a lot of it only works on humans. Like parrying a human, and you can like disarm them. You can, if you had bare hands in Neo 2, you can grab their weapon and just stab them with it. Like, but that only works for human characters. Like the demons and stuff you fight, none of that works. So I'm like, all of that stuff is kind of wasted.
Mhm.
If they're gonna grab that kind of system and now put it for an open world stuff, that combat's gonna be crazy. Hopefully,
Jurassic Park Survival I didn't care for. Black Myth Wukong's in August, apparently.
of next year of 2024.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's February.
I'm
I'm excited
so
for that. Have
I'm
they said it's co-op?
I don't know what they've said, Brian. I am so
I guess
worried about that game.
excited is not the word. I'm interested.
You're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, only if it's co-op. If it's not, I don't see myself giving a single shit.
I mean, that if I could have saved you some money if I would have told you Hogwarts was single player.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that from now on. When you're like, "Hey, I'm excited to co-op," I'm like, "Let me go check if it's co-op for you first."
Hmm. I need to get through the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake because with this coming out soon, and that song was pretty that they did.
Yeah, shout out to that lady that lady who sang the song. The vocals on her were great. She
Yeah.
killed it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think until notified, I think we'll still do episodes up until next year because we're doing the Fave 5 stuff in January. I think it works better that way. That way we have all of 2023, regardless if it comes out, like the week before New Year's or something. It'll still count. It'll give us time to watch it because everybody will be on break and stuff or play through something. So as long as they came out during 2023, they qualify for the Fave 5 episodes we'll do in January. So we'll see. We might do 2 more episodes because I think we only have like 2 or 3 more weeks left in the. Do we have 2 or 3 more weeks? How many Mondays do we have left of 2023?
3.
We have 3, including this one.
No, 2.
2, not including this one.
Not including this one too.
Yeah, so we'll see. Most likely, until I, cancel it probably due to vacation mode or whatever. We'll see if we'll do the other 2 episodes. And then the Fave 5, we'll probably open up next year with Fave 5 stuff. Or if not, a week buffer. That way I can take a week to really drill down on my picks. That's all we got. We'll end it here nice and early. Thank you guys for watching, listening. We'll be back next week. Maybe. Or if not, we'll be back next year. Bye.
We'll find out together.
We'll find out together. You're right. Bye.